Hello. We'll be starting the live at 8 p.m. We'll be starting the live soon. Okay, so for those who are here, can take a look at question 1A. Then they ask you to write the following numbers in order of size starting from the smallest. The easiest way is to convert them all to decimal first so that you can compare the values of each of them. For those who are done with this question, can send in your answers. So firstly, you can convert them to decimals. Next, you compare them from the greatest place values. For secondary levels, you can use a calculator, so you can just plug in the numbers into the calculator. What is the value of square root 3 over 4? Anyone? Anyone key in this number into the calculator already? Can I have the values of square root 3 over 4? Okay, square root 3 over 4 is 0.43301 when we round off to 5 significant figures. So for now, we round off all the values to 5 significant figures first. If we need more digits, then we add on later on. Okay, so this is for the first one. Next, we have pi over 8. Same thing. Can anyone key in the calculator and give me the value of pi over 8? What is the value of pi over 8? Cannot comment number. Okay, so pi over 8 is 0.39270 when rounded off to 5 significant figures. So I believe your calculator will give you more digits lah. But we don't have to copy the whole thing as long as it's comparable for these 4 values will do. Okay. Next we have the 3.3%. So when we want to convert percentage to numbers, we have to drop the percentage sign and divide by 100. So we will get 0.33333 and so on. So this will be rounded off to 5 sig fig. Yep, it's 1/3. I write everything in decimal so that it's easier to compare. So after you write everything in decimals, then you compare from the greatest place value. Okay, lastly we have 21 over 34. Yep, you're right, we have 0.61765 when round off to 5 significant figures. Yep, you can. I write to 5 sig fig because I want to make it more easier to compare. Because we have another one that is like 0.3 also. So actually when you look at them, right, you just need to compare until the second decimal place. Okay, now with all these values here, you can rearrange them starting with the smallest, so smallest to greatest. Okay, so firstly we look at the first decimal place. So for the smallest, you can see that 3 is the smallest, so this 2 is the same for the first decimal place. So we have to compare the second decimal place. One is 9 and one is 3. So 3 is smaller. So this is the smallest, followed by this, then followed by 0.4. Lastly is 0.6. Okay. So always remember to write the original, leave in the original state. Okay, always leave your answer in the original form. So even though we convert to decimals, we don't write our answer in decimals. We write in the form that they give us. So the first one is 33.3%. The second one is pi over 8, followed by square root 3 over 4, and lastly 21 over 34. No, there's no Kahoot for today's live. Can? Hold on. Can you see actually? Let me see. Can you see what I've written? Okay, is everyone done with part A? Can we move on to part B? Write down the irrational numbers. So what are irrational numbers? Irrational numbers are numbers that cannot be expressed as fractions or whole numbers or decimals. So irrational numbers are also numbers that is non-terminating and there's no pattern to it. It's not a recurring number. Okay, so usually when you see pi or you see roots, there are high chance they are irrational number, especially pi. Root, it depends. If it's a square number and it's square root, the square number, it's still a rational number. Okay, so you see pi, so pi out of 8 is irrational number. The other one you see is square root 3. So 3 is not a square number, so therefore square root 3 is irrational. So we have pi over 8 and square root 3 over 4. So these two numbers are irrational numbers. Can? Those are done. Move on to question 2. Try question 2 and then send in your answers for question 2. Without the use of a calculator, evaluate the following. Okay, well done. I see correct answers here. 27 is correct. So for part A, you have 36 minus 12 minus negative 3. So what we can do is negative times negative is positive. So we have 36 minus 12 plus 3. So it's equals to 36 minus 12 is 24. Then you plus 3, you get 27. Yep, we do teach differentiation for A Math. In fact, it's the first topic for Sec 4. Just that for online classes, we only have Sec 1 and Sec 2 for now. We do have physical classes though for Sec 4 A Math. Okay, part B. I see correct answers. Negative 5 is correct. Well done. So part B, we have negative 2. Linear law is in Sec 3. Sec 3 A Math. We also have that in physical classes. Okay, part D, negative 2 plus 8 minus 4 plus negative 7. Okay, yeah, for A Math, actually different school, their sequencing is different because I think different school, they rearrange the topics. So for secondary level, actually they don't really follow the textbook sequence also. And different school use different textbooks. But we do recap all these Sec 3 topics in Sec 4. What's that? Is that chemistry? Okay, we solve part D, okay? So we have negative 2 plus 8 minus 4. Positive times negative is negative, so minus 7. So negative 2 plus 8. Take note here, negative 2 plus 8 is not negative 10. That's a very common mistake that people will make. So you have negative 2 and you go forward by 8 steps in the number line. So you become positive 6. So for those who can't see this, right, you can actually switch the position. You switch negative 2 and positive 8. So it will become 8 minus 2. So 8 minus 2 will give you 6. Then 6 minus 4 will give you 2. And then 2 minus 7, you get negative 5. Yeah, we do have live for Sec 2 Math. It will be next Thursday. Next Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. We only have online classes for Sec 1 Math and Sec 2 Math this year. For other levels, you can inquire on our physical classes. Okay, for those who are done, move on to question 3. So question 2 is involving plus and minus. Then for question 3 has times and divide. 45 and 1. Is that your answer for question 3A and B? If so, do try again. Those who have tried question 3 can send in your answers. Yep, 54 is correct. It shouldn't be negative because we have negative times negative, it becomes a positive sign, and then you multiply with a positive, it's still positive. Yep, 16 is correct for part B. Well done. Okay. So for part A, we have negative 3 times negative 2 times 9. So negative 3 times negative 2, negative times negative is positive. So 3 times 2, we have 6. Then we left with 6 times 9. So 6 times 9 equals to 54. Question 4a is not 30. Do try again. Part B, we have 20 divided by 5 times negative 8 divided by negative 2. Okay, so 20 divided by 5. From left to right, 20 divided by 5, we have 4. 4 times negative 8 divided by negative 2. Then 4 times negative 8, we get negative 32 divided by negative 2. So negative divided by negative still gives us a positive. Then after which 32 divided by 2 is 16. So we're left with a positive answer. Right, so you can try your 4B again. 20 is correct. 4B is not negative 21. Same thing. Those who are done with question 3 can move on to question 4. Yep, that's right. 3 is correct. Sorry, time's up. Oh, that's the countdown for the start of the TikTok live. Part A, we have 10 divided by 5 plus 3 times 6. So we have to follow the order of operations. Divide comes first, so we take 10 divided by 5, we have 2 plus 3 times 6. Next will be multiplication, so we have 2 plus 3 times 6 is 18 equals to 20. Yep, negative 48 is correct. Yep, 4a is 20. Square means you times itself again. You multiply by itself. Okay, part B. We have 3 square minus 2 times negative 1 plus 4 equals to so 3 square means 3 times 3. So 3 square equals to 3 times 3, which is equals to 9. So we have 9 minus 2 times negative 1 plus 4. Yep, you can live in decimals or fractions also can. Okay, next we solve the bracket first. So 9 minus 2 times negative 1 plus 4 will be 3. Who is the new intern? What does 3 and small 2 means? 3 is the base and 2 is the power. So this means 3 to the power of 2. Meaning this is 3 times 3 multiplied by itself 2 times. Okay. Follow the order of operations. So 9 minus 2 times 3 comes first. So 9 minus 2 times 3 is 6. So 9 minus 6, we get 3. Yep, we are following the order of operations here. Technically, for the 3 square and the brackets, it can be done concurrently because they are not affecting one another. Those who are done can move on to part C. because it just stated in the question. If you don't want to write the multiplication sign, in other cases it's fine. They actually have the same meaning. So 2 times negative 1 plus 4 is the same as 2 times negative 1 plus 4. They are the same thing, or they mean the same thing. Can? Part C. Fifteen times negative 2 minus 2 times negative 3 squared. So what we can do is we take 15 times negative 2, we have negative 30 minus 2 times negative 3 squared means negative 3 times negative 3, so negative times negative is positive. So negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive 9. So negative 30 minus 2 times 9 is 18. Okay, because multiplication comes first. So negative 30 minus 18, we have negative 48. Usually in textbook what they teach is you flip the chips. So when you have two chips like negative 1 and then you multiply with a negative 1, you just flip the chips and it becomes a positive 1. So the negative sign, it doesn't, in that means you're not multiplying, you are just adding and subtracting one. There's no multiplication sign in that, correct? So the negative sign usually is just like for you to change the direction on the number line. So when you divide or multiply two negative numbers together, what you are doing is just reversing the direction 2 times, which means you are going back to the same direction, which means the positive direction. Okay, part D. 2/3 squared plus 6 times 0. So anything multiplied by 0 is always 0. Sorry, it's 2/5. So anything square means you multiply by itself. So you have 2/5 times 2/5 plus 6 times 0 is 0. So you take numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So 2 times 2 is 4, and then 5 times 5 is 25. Therefore, the answer is 4 over 25. Yep, you can see the questions in, you can get our worksheets in the link in our bio. Those who need a toilet break can go to the washroom first. We'll take a short break before continuing with the remaining questions. I'm teaching Sec 1 and Sec 2 math online for online classes. What's going on? For Sec 4, we have physical classes, E-Math and A-Math. We have quite a lot of branches in Singapore. What's going on? Okay. Yep, elementary math. I think it's still quite okay. There's only 3 terms here for question 5. Yeah, technically you still can use a calculator for all the papers for math in secondary school, but when they say without using a calculator means you have to show you're working clearly. Those who are done with question 5 can send in your answers. Yep, that's right. The KCF method. Give me a while, yeah? In deciles, there's quite a few laws that you have to remember. Okay, evaluate 5 over 8 times negative 1.5 cubed divided by negative 3 over 8 without using calculator. So 5 over 8 times negative 1.5 cubed divided by negative 3 over 8. We can follow the order of operations here. So this is where having a calculator won't work because you have to follow the orders step by step. Okay, you can't just plug in all the numbers here. Calculator can only help you to check the answers. Okay, so firstly, we can deal with the power. Okay, we can convert the fraction first to mixed improper fraction. So negative 1.5 is negative 3 over 2 cubed divided by negative 3 over 8. So we have 5 over 8 times. So negative 3 over 2 cubed will give us. So if you have negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 will give you negative 1. So the negative remains. Then we have 3 cubed. 3 cubed is 27. 2 cubed is 8. Okay, then divide by negative 3 over 8 equals to 5 over 8 times negative 27 over 8. So now we keep the first fraction, change the sign, and then flip the second fraction. We have negative 8 over 3. Okay, so now we're left with all the multiplication of the fractions, so we can just simplify our fraction. So divide by 8 we get 1, divide by 8 we get 1 here. 27 divide by 3 we get 9. Then 3 divided by 3 is 1. So we can see we have negative times negative. Negative times negative is positive, and the first one is also positive. So your final answer should be a positive number. So we have 5 times 9 in the numerator, which is 45. Then the denominator will be 8 times 1 times 1, so it's just 8. Okay, so the answer is 45 over 8. Okay. Can see? Those who are done can move on to question 6. It's on the topic of prime factors and multiples. Those who are done with question 5 can move on to question 6. Then those who are done with question 6 can send in your answers for question 6. Done with question 5, yeah? You can also take a look at question 6 from my screen. Anyone done with question 6? They tell you that the highest common factor of x and 60 is 15. The highest common factor of x and 27 is 9. Given that x is less than 50, find the value of x. Hi, Julian. Okay, so we will prime factorize the numbers that we see here. So there is 60, 27, 15 and 9. So when we prime factorize 60 divided by 2, we get 30. Divide by 2, we get 15. Divide by 3, we get 5. And divide by 5, we get 1. Okay, so 60 equals to 2 square times 3 times 5. 27 divided by 3, we get 9. Divide by 3, we get 3. And divide by 3, we get 1. So 27 equals to 3 cubed. 15, very straightforward, 3 times 5. And 9 is just 3 squared. Okay, so they tell you that the highest common factor of x and 60 is 15, and the highest common factor of x and 27 is 9. So this means the value of x is the LCM of 15 and 9, because it must have the values in, it must have the factors of all 15 and 9. So we have to find the LCM first. Okay, so the LCM of 15 and 9, to find the LCM, we take the highest power okay, so we have 3 squared. For the base 3, the highest power is 2. Why is it 2 squared times 3? The LCM of 15 and 9, so we look at this 2. Because x minimally must have all the factors of 15 and 9. That's why we need to find the LCM of 15 and 9, since it is the highest common factor. Okay, and then next we have 5. 5, the highest power is 1. When 9 don't have the base 5, right, means it's times 5 to the power of 0. So 1 is greater than 0. That's why we take 5 to the power of 1. So 3 squared times 5, we get 45. So you can check your answer. So if if x is 3 squared times 5, and then you compare them, compare with 60 is the highest common factor, 15. For highest common factor, you take the lowest power. Okay, you have already prime factorized them here. So you take the lowest power between x and 60. Do you get just 3 times 5? And same for the highest common factor of x and 27. Do you get 9? Okay. If so, then means your answer is correct, and then x is also less than 50. Those who are done can move on to question 7. mixture. Anyone done with question 7? Which subject is that? Those who are done with question 7, you can send in your answer. Anyone? If P and Q are whole numbers such that P times Q is 67 and P is larger than 1, calculate the value of P plus Q. Which level are you in? Oh wow. Actually, for this question, you just need to be more sensitive with numbers. And what kind of number is 67? Anyone know what kind of number is 67? It's a special number. Okay, it's an odd number, but what kind of other special number is this? Other than odd. Y'all learn this number in Sec 1 also, this kind of number. Start with letter P. It's a prime number. Yes, correct. Very good. So prime number, very obvious, right? Means you can find the values of P and Q already. And P has to be larger than 1. Okay? So since 67 is a prime number, it has only 2 factors. 67 and 1. As P is larger than 1, then P must be 67 and Q must be 1. So P plus Q will be equals to 67 plus 1 equals to 68. Can? So this is the last question for today's live. Anyone who's Sec 1 or Sec 2 interested in joining our free trial online class, you can register with us. You can break down the wordy question into parts and understand them sentence by sentence so that you won't be scared off by like lengthy questions. Sometimes lengthy questions means they give you more information means the question is actually easier to solve with more information. No, there's no Kahoot today. Okay, so those who are interested in our online class, you can register for one free trial for Sec 1 Math or Sec 2 Math. Sec 1 Math is on Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Then Sec 2 Math is on Friday, 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Okay, then there will be next live tomorrow. Tomorrow will be P6 Math by another teacher. So those who are P6 or actually P5, you all can also watch the live tomorrow. It'll be a walkthrough of P6 Semester 1 practice. Yeah, for secondary level, so for secondary math will be next Thursday. Next Thursday will be Sec 2 Math at 7 p.m. Okay? So I see you all next week. Bye bye. Yeah, you can join our live next lesson also, next week for Sec 2 Math. So every Thursday will be Sec 1 and Sec 2 Math alternate. Bye bye.